Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. Om Saraswatyai Namaha. Om Sadgurubhyo Namaha. Shri Arunachalam. Good morning. Today we shall take a question from Shri Kaushik. He is an IT professional and currently he is working in Florida, US. His first question: in this world, it is told that everything is dukkhalayam and ashashvatam. When we live our life in this world, we have a lot of negative news every day, right from rapes, murder, burglary, etc. Hardly there is very less positive news. In such a world, how do we approach life with a positive mindset and have a general purpose in our day-to-day lives and make it more meaningful? This is his first question. Yes, our scriptures and our great masters have said, life in this world is dukkhalayam and ashashvatam only. If you are a thinking person, you can find from the womb to the tomb, there are a lot of sorrows. And ashashvatam means everything is fleeting, nothing is permanent. This is only said to develop a healthy detachment and to turn within. We should not mistake it to be a negative statement. But regarding the world, like rapes, murder, burglary, etc., I want to only tell, always the world has been like this. In Puranic times, we have heard of Asuras and Rakshasas, how much atrocities they have committed. See, nowadays China and Pakistan is nothing compared to those Rakshasas. Later on, there were Hiranyakashipus, Ravanas, Kamsas. Can you imagine? Kamsa, in order to safeguard himself, killed hundreds of infant babies of his own kingdom. He heard an Ashariri saying that this Devaki's 8th child will kill him. So therefore, not to take things for granted, he was killing all the babies of his kingdom. What a cruelty. These negative forces have always been there. Nobody can help. Good and bad, yin and yang, are inseparable parts of life. Let us surrender to the Creator. We can only do our best and leave the rest. You know, a saint called Sri Yoga Swami from Jaffna, Sri Lanka, he has said, in the ulagam naai vaalai pondrathu, meaning it is like a dog's tail. Nobody can straighten it. So we should not too much worry about things which are not under our control, meaning which is not in our hands. We have to surrender to the Creator. He knows His business. He will take care of everything. But whatever we can do, we have to do our best and leave the rest to the Lord. To make our life more meaningful, we have asked how to make our life meaningful in these circumstances. I tell you, to make our life meaningful, we should have an inspiring ideal to live for, to dedicate ourselves and work for it. See, most of us think an inspiring ideal means we have to land in Google, or we have to become a CEO, of some great company, or we have to have our own startups. Not necessarily. Not necessarily. Wherever we are, in whichever field we are working, when our ideals are loftier and higher, our lives become greater actually. What else can be the ideal other than knowing the truth, the changeless behind all these changes? Please remember, Tiruvalluvar also has said, வெள்ளத்தனையது மலர் நீட்டம், மாந்தர்தம் உள்ளத்தனையது உயர்வு. Meaning, when we can think big, when our ideals are very loftier, very higher, then our lives become great. And Swami Vivekananda has said, expansion is life, contraction is death, he has said. If the ideal encompasses the whole of humanity, you become a great saint. Meaning, if you can think in these lines, Vasudhaiva Kudumpakam, meaning the whole world is mine. If you can think in this way, you become a great saint. If the ideal encompasses your country, you become a patriot, a Desha Bhakta. Meaning, always when you are thinking about the good of your country, welfare of your fellow citizens, you become a Desha Bhakta. At least if you are concerned about your community, the society around, you become a social worker. But if you only identify with yourself and your wife and children, you remain in a small circle. You remain as an ordinary selfish householder, samsari. See, this is the difference. The difference is we are unable to think big in life. We are unable to identify with the broader things in life. That is why we feel very pessimistic. We feel very drained always. So, more we expand within, our lives become greater, more meaningful. And you know, our scriptures say, Paropakarartham idham shariram. Meaning, this body is only to serve others. And Swami Vivekananda also have said, those alone live who live for others. The rest are more dead than alive. Meaning what? Our heart should feel for others, and heads and hands and legs should work for the welfare of the others. So when we can change our vision, our perspective in life, then only we become great. Then only our life become meaningful. So therefore, just to crib and just to complain that everything is bad and there's so much of injustice, and go on, debating, arguing, finding fault, there is no use. We have to surrender all these negativities to the Lord, to the Creator, and we should have a great ideal in life. And we should expand within. And we should always remember, Paropakarartham idam shariram. Meaning this body has been given to us only to serve others. If we can think this way, our life becomes meaningful. I will tell you one very interesting thing. When I was in Sri Lanka, in Tiruvannamalai, there was a great Ayya. He is called as Gandhi Ayya. Yes, he was following Gandhian ideal. And he was a great social worker. And always serving the fellow beings around him. He was very, very old at that time when I met him. He must be in his 85. but still a great social worker. Once we invited him for our youth camp. Imagine an 85-year-old Ayya has been invited for the youth camp to address the youngsters. You know what he said? He said, "Dear children, do you know, we have got 24 hours. Every day we have got 24 hours. 8 hours you sleep. 8 hours you work, meaning for yourself, for your own bread and butter. Yes, you work. 4 hours you spend for entertainment and other things." And he said, 4 hours every day. You should do some sort of service. You should do something for the welfare of the world, for others, he said. It was very inspiring. And he was not just preaching, he was really living that way. So when we can design our life in this fashion, at least few hours in my life, I will think about the society around. I will think about my country. I will think about the world where I live in. I will do something good. And this body is only to serve others. If we can think this way, then only our life becomes meaningful. Otherwise, as Bharati says, "Thedi chornidam tindru, chinnam chirugadigal pesi, manam vaadi miga ulandru, pirar vaada pala செயல்கள் செய்து, நரைகூடி கிழப்பது அமைதி, கொடும் கூற்றுக்கு இறையனப்பின் மாயும், வேடிக்கை மனிதரைப் போல்." அப்படி it will just go without any meaning, without any purpose. So, for the Rishiputras like us, the ideal should be Atma-nishtha and Loka-seva. Meaning what? Atma-nishtha means we should strive to know ourselves, the truth behind this world. That is Atma-nishtha. And Loka-seva. Loka-seva means what? We should always be ready to serve the fellow beings, the people around us. With all love, with all compassion, we should be always ready to serve the beings around us. That should be our ideal to make our life really meaningful. Moving on to the second question. Swamiji, we are always dependent on people for our happiness. Each one of us has a close set of friends or support system whom we share our thoughts with and transact in this world. When we interact with them, we feel really happy. But after it is over, we are back to square one and our mind is restless and unhappy. How to overcome this and still be happy in today's world? A very beautiful question. Especially in these times of Corona, when everybody is locked down, when everybody has to live within the four walls of their room. This is a beautiful question actually. My answer would be, it is wonderful to have family and friends to share our joys and sorrows, discuss our problems and challenges, and get clarity and solace. There is nothing wrong in it. In fact, if you have more friends, there is more joy actually. But how can we expect always to have some company or someone around to always hang around? It's not possible. Therefore, as I told you earlier, if we have an inspiring ideal to work for, or at least some interesting and elevating hobbies, such as some sport, music, or even reading or writing, even it may be a novel or a science fiction or whatever, if we have an interesting hobby, then we will not feel bored or we will not feel miserable actually. We may not feel insufficient. I would say even healthy entertainment in right measure is really good. We have to become self-sufficient one way or other. See, this Atma Nirbhar, it is not only for the nation, it should be also in our personal lives. We have to become self-sufficient, self-reliant. Swami Shivananji used to say, you should have at least 1 week of work on your table always, so that the mind is occupied and healthy. Please understand, this mind is like a genie, that bhutam. If you don't give sufficient work, it will kill you. It will swallow. Meaning what? Empty mind is devil's workshop. So therefore, if we can have something constructive to do always, we can find definitely in our lives something constructive always. Then we will not feel this boredom. Actually, boredom kills. When we have nothing to look forward in life, we drag ourselves aimlessly and feel miserable. You know, very elderly people, why they feel very miserable? Because when they get up from their bed, they have nothing to look forward. That is why life becomes very miserable. We have to pep ourselves and find something always interesting in our lives. Suppose if you don't have anything, just go for a walk. Just go for cycling or swimming. Go to gym. Somehow do something. Engage yourself. At least you remain healthy. Or at least if you can appreciate the beauty of the nature and learn to live and enjoy solitude. Nothing like that. So if we really want, we can find something interesting and keep ourselves going. There is no use of always wanting a company or a friend to hang around. It is not going to happen. We have to become self-sufficient. We have to find something interesting in life and we have to engage ourselves positively. That is the way to go. The third question. Swamiji, there is a saying in Tamil that idum kadandu pohum, meaning even this will pass. How do we keep a patient mind and not crib while waiting for the rough time to pass? A very good question. My answer would be, we have to wait. We have to allow it to pass. That is all. As Shirdi Sai says, Shraddha Saburi. Meaning, we should have faith in life that things would be better. Everything is going to be all right. Especially in this time of Corona, we should have this faith. Faith in God. Faith in our scientists. Faith in humanity. Saying that or feeling that everything will be all right. There is going to be a solution for this. And Saburi means patience. There is no other way. We have to patiently wait. Sri Krishna says, it will come, it will go. We have to just go through it. Meaning what? This titiksha we should have. Means we should wait patiently. That is all we can do. Thank you so much. Hari Om.